Qatar intends to construct a number of artificial pools in order to address the issue of drinking water for 2 million people. One of these significant initiatives is a $6 billion artificial water ground. Not only is it the largest single-capacity reservoir in the world, but it also provides the majority of spectators and staff with access to drinking water during the World Cup. Japan, the United States, and China all competed for this lucrative project at the same time. However, who will Qatar ultimately select? The primary causes of Qatar's water deficit are discussed in this video, along with the nation that will construct the $6 billion artificial water land. If you would like to learn more about alarming initiatives taking place throughout the world, as well as some significant events taking place in China, Qatar's geographic position is mostly to blame for its lack of water resources. Qatar's location is surrounded by water on 3 sides, and its coastline stretches for a total of 563 kilometers. There are no year-round rivers in this region, though, and the climate is often rather dry. Additionally, Qatar has only really 2 seasons every year: winter and summer. Every year, summer begins in May and lasts through October. The temperature fluctuates between 25 and 46 degrees Celsius, and at its warmest, it can reach 50 degrees Celsius. Every year, the winter season lasts only from November to April, and the average temperature is kept at 25 to 30 degrees Celsius. Qatar's water resources are now more expensive than oil because of the country's extreme heat and water shortage. It is increasingly obvious in this context that Qatar has to find a solution to the water utilization issue. They therefore want to construct a number of artificial pools. These include a sizable artificial pool that costs $6 billion and can supply 2 million people's daily water demands. So what exactly is an artificial pool? The artificial pool is actually a massive reservoir where drinking water is pre-stocked to guarantee that the area's water supplies are adequate. To store water resources, it is required to construct a number of artificial pools in some desert and water-scarce regions. However, it is not that simple to construct the artificial pool, and Qatar's location will also provide several challenges. As a result, 3 countries with good infrastructure are competing in this challenging artificial pool project. Japan, the US, and China are the 3 nations in question. So to which nation will Qatar ultimately transfer this challenging project? The artificial pool's hurried construction is being done for a very significant reason. The World Cup is being held in Qatar, and this magnificent event will undoubtedly draw more spectators from around the globe. The Qatar World Cup Organizing Committee predicts that more than 1.2 million spectators will visit Qatar during the World Cup, with each visitor staying for an average of 4-5 days. With 1.2 million extra spectators and a population of only approximately 3 million people overall, Qatar's drinking water crisis will only become worse. This can't be what Qatar wants to see if the absence of water offends these international spectators. As a result, Qatar must pick a nation that can finish the building as quickly as possible and with the best level of collaboration. Although Japan has expanded its infrastructure skills, there have been delays in several international projects, including the Ahmedabad-Mumbai high-speed train project that Japan assisted India with building. This high-speed rail project will formally open to traffic in 2023, as originally intended by Japan. But after 5 years, just 10 kilometers of the Indian high-speed rail project have been completed, and it is still far from finished. Qatar dares not select Japan for this project because if it is delayed and the artificial pool is built there would certainly be significant drinking water issues during the World Cup. Qatar has turned down the United States in addition to Japan, because the United States tends to prioritize its own interests over those of other countries when it is collaborating with other nations. In addition, the United States government maintains its clandestine theft of state secrets and its enjoyment of interfering in the domestic affairs of other countries. If Qatar were to entrust the construction of the artificial pool project to the United States, it is likely that this course of action would bring up a great number of unanticipated complications down the line. In addition, the mainstream media in the United States has long held the opinion that Qatar is complicit in illegal activities and may have engaged in questionable business practices in order to get the right to host the 2022 FIFA World Cup. As a direct consequence of this, Qatar is not particularly interested in collaborating with American businesses. After much thought, Qatar made the decision to delegate this responsibility to China in the end. China has been making remarkable strides when it comes to the development of its infrastructure in recent years. the rest of the world is astounded at the rapidity with which China is expanding its infrastructure, such as its railways and hydropower facilities. In addition, China routinely provides assistance to some less developed nations in the development of its infrastructure, such as the building of high-speed rail projects, hydropower plants, and other facilities. As a result, China has earned a great lot of goodwill. Therefore, handing over the project to China, which is estimated to cost $6 billion, has to be Core's best alternative. In this case, what difficulties may China have while attempting to construct artificial pool? According to the plan, the artificial pool developed by China has dimensions of 305 meters in length, 150 meters in width, and 11.3 meters in height. It is now the largest storage tank that can be found anywhere. The so-called artificial pool has a storage capacity of about 500,000 cubic meters, which means that it has the potential to provide drinking water to 2 million people on a daily basis. China conducts research utilizing the reservoir against Core's need that it occupy the surrounding land. It has the capacity to house a total of 8 football fields. If just concrete is being used for the floor, then the entire area cannot be poured at once. As a consequence of this, the Chinese construction team performed a number of calculations in order to maximize the area to 312, while at the same time reducing the distance between building joints to 6,503 meters. It wasn't until after this that the problem with the artificial pool's base was fixed. Due to the excessive size of the artificial pool, there must also be multiple partition barriers for diversion in the middle of the artificial pool in order to avoid the phenomenon of cutoff. After a number of discussions among the Chinese experts, the Chinese construction crew went ahead and installed Changzhou vibrators in addition to strengthening the steel bar reinforcement and adjusting the mix of concrete. In the end, this problem was resolved to everyone's satisfaction. After overcoming any and all challenges, China was successful in completing the artificial pool on schedule and delivering it to Qatar. At the moment, this sizable artificial pool in Qatar serves not only as a significant water supply assurance for the World Cup in Qatar, but also as a means of distributing water to the 2 most important cities of Doha and Umsaid. In addition to the so-called artificial pool, there are examples of Chinese cultural influence all across Qatar. In Qatar, the shadows created by China are visible wherever you look, whether they are cast by stadiums, marketplaces for goods, or animals. The Lusail Stadium, which is serving as the host venue for this year's World Cup, is an absolutely stunning location. It is believed that the Lusail Stadium was constructed through a collaborative effort between China Railway Construction Corporation and a local business incorporation. It is presently the most modern, technologically advanced, and spacious World Cup stadium, and it has broken multiple world records in the process. In point of fact, the reason China and Qatar are able to continue their prosperous development and partnership is because both countries have a cooperative attitude that is to the mutual advantage of all involved. If every part of the international community works together in this way, I believe that things will keep getting better all across the world.